and
action.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to my kitchen. This afternoon we're going to make a crustless quiche. But to start the ball rolling before I do and talk about anything, I'm going to get my frying pan and I'm going to give it a slurp of olive oil, and then I'm going to bring it here and then I'm going to show you what we're going to put in it. So I'll just move slightly quickly.
It's Baronian MasterChef.
I love it.
Now I'm putting a little slurp in this frying pan. Not too much.
It's an exact measurement, isn't it? A slurp.
Yeah, just enough so that the onion doesn't stick. Then we are going to put the bacon in, which I've chopped, and it's not too thick. It's just little pieces like that. So I'm going to put all this into here.
3 rashers.
Well, they know the ingredients.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
An onion, which I've lost half my thumb on, that's been cut small. You can cut it any size you want, but I like it small because then you don't just get a mouthful of onion. And the capsicum, I've used red capsicum. Make sure when you cut a capsicum, you get rid of all this white pith that's inside the capsicum. You might know that, but the thing is, this is the horrible thing that causes reflux if you have when you eat peppers. So get rid of all that and the seeds, so that goes all in there. And, well, where are they? I'm going to put this on a low heat, and then we're going to chop up the garlic, and we're going to put it all into here. So this is now going on the stove, and Fred will be my helper.
Yes, I'll be your helper. I'll stir. I'm good at stirring.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'll just, I suppose you all have a garlic crusher. I have a knife, and the knife will take the skin off the garlic. Oh, it's a yucky one. You can put as many cloves of garlic into this as you like. I put 2. You can put 3, 4 if you're a real lover of garlic. And I don't like the garlic crushers because they're hard to clean, so I just chop on a special little board that I only use for garlic because of the flavour goes through everything. So we just chop it finely, and we put that into the bacon and the onion to cook as well. And so it's not minced, it's just chopped.
No.
Okay, now the reason I decided to do a quiche was because most people have the ingredients, which are eggs, milk, a bit of flour in your pantry, and cheese in your fridge. What we can do once we've got all those basic ingredients together is magic. We can do whatever we like. And I have a bowl, and my mouth is very dry. In this bowl, I'm going to crack 4 eggs. You can never crack on a stainless steel, so I'll do it on the wooden board. I like big eggs. Goes with my personality. I find they are nice, and I like free range because of the colour. But it's entirely your call. All right, got 4 eggs in the bowl, and I'm just going to have a mouthful of this. Okay, here we go. Now, the origin of a quiche comes from a place in France called Lothringen, and it's a province of Lorraine. Now, quiche first was found in, well, not found, but put together in, let me have a look at my notes, in a medieval region that was German ruled, because quiche and the German word for cake, Kuchen, is supposed to be very similar. Either I'm saying Kuchen wrong or quiche is quiche, or we're saying it wrong, not like the French say it. Now, go on, who said something? No? Quiche?
Kuchen.
Kuchen, do you think? Kuchen is cake. And
Kuchen.
Kuchen. Oh, well, it doesn't sound like quiche, but that's what the books told me. You know, that's where the word comes from. And the first ever recorded history or mention of quiche was 1605. And then in 1800s, early 1800s, there was more record of people making quiches. And I believe it was because they didn't have ovens, and then maybe they were using the communal ovens that they had, you know, in the villages to cook bread. And maybe they could put together the cheese, the eggs. They might have had a bit of bacon or whatever, and cream. And that's why the quiche maybe started. I don't know, but it's a good thought. Now, theory. In 1925, that's the first time it was recorded in Great Britain, quiche. And also, after World War II, quiche became very popular in Britain because the soldiers returned from Europe, and maybe they had eaten the quiche while they were serving over there, and hence they would have brought the recipes back to their home country. So, and quiche is very, very easy, but this one has no pastry. And the reason this one doesn't have any pastry is it's not everyone likes making pastry. Some people don't like pastry. Some people have a reaction to pastry. So you don't have to worry about messy flour and a rolling pin and rolling flour. It's all done in one. Fred, how are we going?
We're going fine.
We're going fine. All right. Now, while Fred's cooking that, this is called spinach. Favourite of mine. But in this quiche, it is really, really lovely. We went to Holland in 1999, and I have two boys, as you know. They're not lovers of green things like this. They weren't then, they might be now. And I remember Fred's auntie defrosting this humongous bowl of spinach. And she made a quiche using croissant pastry that she bought in the supermarket. We can't get it here. Well, I can't get it anywhere around here. And she lined her dish with the croissant pastry. And this is really her spinach. This is her recipe that I've adapted to what we like. So 250 grams of this spinach. This comes from Belgium. It's not too bad. Oh, sorry, yes, I forgot. You know me, grasshopper mind. And I thought, well, the boys are going to go hungry tonight, but they loved it. They loved the spinach quiche. Since then, I've made it, and we've always called it Tantage's quiche, but now it's called 90s quiche because my grandchildren love it, so it's even better. If you can't get frozen spinach, because it's not easy, please don't buy the spinach that's made in China. It's no good for you. This one is Belgium. I'm not sure. Most of it I buy either comes from Europe. You can use fresh spinach like this. I like to cut, when I'm making it, I like to cut the stalks off. And then I just chop it off. And at the same time as I'm adding this spinach to the frying pan, you can add the fresh spinach all cut up, you just to wilt it. So I'm going to put this spinach in the frying pan. Yeah, come on. Just like this. And see, Fred's used to it. Put it down there for a minute. And all we do, because I've defrosted.
Christine, we have a question about why Chinese spinach is no good for you.
Chinese spinach is because they use human feces to fertilise their soils. So I don't think it's recommended. That's why I wouldn't.
That's what she's heard anyway.
I've read it, so I wouldn't use it. It's your call. It's not easy to find the frozen spinach, and I don't know why, because people love it. I mean, Fred loves it as a vegetable. I'd rather eat grass clippings, but never mind. This is a little bit different. Okay, see how it's all cooking together? It smells delicious. Thank you. Just a little bit more. Now, going back to this, I've got 4 eggs in here. And I'm just giving it a little bit of a whisk. And into that, we're going to add 3/4 cup of plain flour. This is how we get the crust on the bottom. So 3/4 cup of plain flour. As you can see, I'm accurate. And I'm using milk, but you can use cream. All cream makes it delicious. You can use half and half, or as today, you can use just milk. We're going to put 1.5 cups of milk. I've got full milk because you wouldn't use anything else in a quiche.
Christine, can you substitute spinach with zucchini?
That'll come later. I will actually talk about different fillings in a minute. Okay, there's the milk. I'm a teaspoon of salt. I did put a teaspoon there, but you can put anything you like in this. If you like different seasonings, I love Moroccan, so I just put a sprinkle of Moroccan. You can put a dash of curry if you wanted to, but just a bit. Depends on your tastes. For this quiche, just mix it together. We'll get rid of the little lumpies. As you can see, it's very, very easy to make. Now what I've got here are classic French ingredients. I've got milk, but cream, eggs, bacon will be in a minute, and the cheese. With the cheese, you can use any cheese you like. If you like really sharp treat cheese, you can use Swiss cheese, you can use red Leicester cheese, anything. Any cheese that you like. I have just got extra tasty cheese. All right, now, there we go. How easy is that? Are you ready, Fred?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll come to you.
Yes, please. Now,
You're on.
yep. What we do is, we've got our eggs. We pour this in. Oops, bit on the floor. Get it all in. This is my very fancy spoon. Move that into the sink. How good is that? Look at that. You can lean that and it doesn't touch your bench. I love it. Right, we just mix all this together. Now, when it comes to ingredients, this is our basic quiche. You could let the bacon and the cheese cool a little bit if you like, but we haven't got time this afternoon. There you go. How easy is that? Look at that. So Welsh, green, red, and, well, yellow. Now, here we go, the quiche dishes. They all vary. This is my favourite. You can have all different size quiches. And as you can see, I have a few. Make a baby quiche. And if you don't have any quiche dishes, Pyrex dishes are fine too. Mine's too big, but this is a small one because you could actually halve this recipe. Just make a 2-egg quiche if you're on your own. This quiche will freeze really, really well. So you can bake it and you can freeze it and pull it out and eat it when you're ready. Now, how hard is this? That in there.
Question is that in with the flour, etc.?
It's all together. The hot, what we've sauteed or fried, whatever you like to say, that mixture was put into the eggs and the flour and the cheese, mixed together, and hence I'm just pushing it around a little bit so it looks a bit even.
That's
And
it.
voila, that's your quiche. Now I do have one in the oven. I think it might be ready. Have a look. Yep. This is one I prepared earlier. I'll just move that for me. So that one's a cooked one. And this one is now going into the oven at 180 degrees for 45 minutes. Depends on your oven. Mine took 50 minutes. Now I'm going to try and cut this to show you. I'll just let it cool for a minute while I'm talking. The ingredients in the quiche, if you're vegetarian, you can take the bacon out. You could put asparagus. You could saute the mushrooms with the onions. You could put green pepper, capsicum if you like green. I find that repeats on me, so I stay away from that. You can have an orange one. That has a lovely sweetness. That's delicious. You could have zucchini is a little bit wet. Just pumpkin. Well, you can use pumpkin, cut into small cubes, microwave it for a minute or so, and plonk it in. When you've put the eggs and the milk and the cheese and whatever else you're putting in, just push the pumpkin in. You can decorate it with cherry tomatoes. You can use corn. You can use herbs. You can use different cheeses. You can use broccolini, caramelised onions, spring onions. If you've got an abundance, the thing is you stick to your eggs, flour, milk or cream. That's the base. Anything else you can add to it. Easy as pie. And it is easy. And it's a really lovely quiche. So I'm just going to cut you a piece. It smells delicious.
Wonder what I'm having for dinner tonight.
There we go. It needs a bit of time to cool, so I'm sorry about that. It is a bit hot. Under there. So now can you see? It needs a little bit of time just to settle, but I've cut it straight out of the oven and it's delicious. So I think you can make that. When it goes cold, it tends to be firmer. So it's lovely on a hot day, cold quiche, a salad, little tiny potatoes, crusty garlic bread. What more? What more could you ask for? Now you know this quiche is cooked when you touch it, see this, it's firm. It's not wobbling, because I can't stand wobbly eggs on a quiche, just in case someone gets sick. So thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it. There is another quiche in the oven.
Very good.
Excellent, Christine. Thank you.
Excellent. Good. Very good.
Sorry, we can't.
Breaking up.
Christine, that was brilliant. Thank you so much.
That's all right, you're welcome.
That was sensational. It looked delicious.
It
It
is.
does.
Christine, did you grease the dish before you put it in?
No, there's
No.
enough fat in, you know, when with the bacon fat, you don't need to grease anything. And if you can see this, you can see that, it would have come away except it was hot. See, the bottom is clear.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Easy as. And I hope you make it because it is delicious.
I shall be making it tomorrow.
Well, you know, even if you didn't want, you could always make it without the bacon with a tin of salmon. You know, the poor,
Oh, yes.
depends how fishy you are, so to speak, whether you would like to have a medium-sized tin or the biggest tin. But I would only use red salmon, and I would have it deboned, and I would have it de-skinned.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me. There's nothing worse than crunching when it's a quiche. You think it's eggshells, and black skin is not a good look.
No, no.
So, you know, you can make it like that. I mean, you can make a vegan one if you like, but tofu, it's a different recipe to this. You can't use this recipe, but you can make it a vegan one. Vegetarian, you just take the bacon out.
Couldn't use eggs, though, could you, if you're a vegan?
No, vegan's completely different. Vegan's done with tofu and soy milk, and they mix that together to make a paste. Then they do exactly what we did with sauteing the bacon, well, they wouldn't have bacon, mushrooms or whatever, onions, whatever, and they mix it all together in the same way, but they like to use it in a pie crust, but I don't think you need to bother. You do it like this.
Would it work in muffin tins?
This one you could make in muffin tins, but you might have to just slightly grease the muffin tins because it's a different This is ceramics and that's tin, so slightly different. I would grease them to get them out in one piece in a muffin tin. But you can, this recipe you can.
That's sensational. Thank you, Christine.
That's okay.
Are you ready for me to stop recording, Christine?
I am, unless anyone else has got a question, I am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to have a big cup of coffee now.
Okay, we can unmute, but I'm going to stop recording now.